Happy 2024, friends! I'm very excited. I spent the past few days trying to catch up on my book journaling and just like reflecting on the year. And I'm really grateful for this platform and all of the fun things I've had the opportunity to do and to see and to film. I'm still really behind on things that I vlogged over the summer, but I might just intersperse those as I see fit going forward, because honestly, I think I was putting too much pressure on myself to put out these big, long, week-long vlog type things, and it just became too much for my computer to handle and for me to like commit to recording and editing every week. So moving forward, I'm going to do shorter videos and probably intermix vlog type videos with more like reviews and wrap-ups and things of that nature. So moving forward, I thought I'd talk about a couple of goals that I have for the upcoming year. I want to read 200 books. I want to post once a week or once every other week, depending on how busy I am on this channel. And I want to talk more about the books I'm actually reading and not just the events I'm going to, whether that be recommendations or mini reviews or just things I recently purchased and I'm excited about, or things I'm in the process of reading. I think I might even do some reading vlogs where like I vlog my reading and like my reactions to things. So there might be some spoilers, but of course I'll mark them as spoilers so you will know that if you haven't read it or if you're like upset with being spoiled, that's where we'll be at. But yeah, I definitely want to do all of those things. I also want to support as many indie authors as I can, because I feel like recently indie authors have been getting some hate online and I don't like that. I read primarily indie, so I feel like this is like the perfect opportunity to highlight some of my favorite indie authors. So that being said, I also want to talk about my favorite books of the year. I think I'm going to go through these by month, because I do have a template on Instagram where I have like a monthly, like what was your favorite book of the year, or of the month and then of the year. So for January, my favorite book was Bonded by Thorns. If you have not picked up the Beast of the Briar series, what are you even doing? It's Why Choose, it's Beauty and the Beast retelling, it's fae, it is delicious, and it takes place in the Pacific Northwest. So I'm a huge fan. February's pick was One Pucked Up Pack. I love Omegaverse and I love Sarah Blue. Need I say more? That book made me ugly cry. It made me ugly cry. I was sobbing. It was surprisingly painful to read, but I loved every second of it. Chef's Kiss. It's also a hockey romance. So like what more could you ask for? For March, The Coven by Harper Elwoods. Now, if you know me at all, you know that I stan Harper Elwoods. What Lies Beyond the Veil is one of my all-time favorite books. I don't know what she puts in her stories, but they are so incredible. I devoured them every single time. The Coven is a paranormal, like a very dark paranormal romance between a vampire and a witch. And there's this big like secret society, and she ends up in this like magic school. And there's a whole lot of stuff going on where like the secret society is like very sketchy. And there's a lot of dark stuff. I can't get into it. It'll be spoilers. So just read it. Just read it. It's good. April, it was Ice Planet Barbarians. I read all of the Ice Planet Barbarian books in April. There was like 38 of them at the time. All of them. I read them all in April. April was by far my best reading month. And I read all of the Ice Planet Barbarians. I could not stop. It was like the 5th day of the month. And I went to Silent Book Club in Seattle. And they were like, oh, what are you reading? I was like, I'm reading the 10th Ice Planet Barbarian, or 15th. And they're like, bro, it's 5 days into the month. How are you reading that fast? I don't know. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. And I have no regrets. I will be rereading those. My May pick is Fourth Wing. I feel like that's an obvious answer. Fourth Wing was so incredible and like everything I needed. The problem is that a lot of people talk poorly about Fourth Wing because it's predictable, or because it's nothing new, or it's not creative, or the language is too casual, but those are all the things that I like. I like that she swears a lot. I like that there are dragons. I liked that it felt like all of the books that I wanted to read or I liked reading as a teenager in like a spicy new adult book as an adult, right as I was graduating from grad school, and like just needed something that I was like obsessed with, and it was so perfect. I read it twice in May. So June. It should surprise nobody that my June pick is Woven by Gould, which is the second book in the Beast of the Briar. It's the follow-up to Bonded by Thorns. It was my favorite book of June. I cannot say a single thing about this book without spoiling the first book. So if you read Bonded by Thorns, you know. And if you haven't read Bonded by Thorns, start there. For July, my pick was Where Echoes Die, which is by Courtney Gould. She's amazing. She's incredible. And her book is so good. It's a YA thriller. Two teenage girls go into the desert, small town. Some stuff happens. It's spooky. It gives Blake Crouch vibes, but YA and gay, which we love. So I'm a big fan. You should read it. August was Don't Puck With My Heart, which is book 2 in the Sarah Blue series. So it's also a hockey Omegaverse. It's a different pack. If anybody is interested in me explaining Omegaverse, let me know. I could do a whole video explaining Omegaverse, or my recommendations for Omegaverse, where to start, what you need to know. My cat is singing the song of his people. So yes, I can do a whole Omegaverse video later if anybody's interested. Just let me know. Let me know. September, my pick was Kingdom of Ash. I don't know if I need to say more. I cried so incredibly much while reading Kingdom of Ash. I don't think I'll ever recover emotionally from that. I can't believe I waited this long to read Throne of Glass. I read the first book last year and didn't, last year, 2022? It's weird to say that now because I digress. I read the first book and wasn't impressed, and so I set it down and I didn't pick them back up until this year because I was like, oh, well the next Crescent City book is out. I want to finish all the Maas first books. I think Throne of Glass is my favorite series by Sarah J. Maas, and I will say that, and I stand by it. It is so good. My October pick was The Luminous Dead. Spelunking, mushrooms, claustrophobia. In a nutshell. It's a horror. It's a 2-character book. There are only 2 characters in the entire book, and it was so incredibly creepy. I finished it in less than a day. I could not put it down. Ronald! Hi, baby. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing, Ronald? My pick for November was The Last Housewife by Ashley Winstead. I picked this book up because of a recommendation from a friend. Actually, it wasn't exactly a recommendation. She was telling me about the book, and then I was like, say less. The main character is this woman who's trying to escape her past, and Ron, stop! She's listening to a podcast, and she's in her cushy life that she doesn't love, and she's listening to a podcast, like a true crime podcast, that happens to be hosted by her childhood best friend, and he's covering the murder of one of her college roommates. So she goes back to her college to help him investigate her college roommate's death. A lot of stuff happens. There's this whole like jumping back and forth in all of this author's books. In Ashley Winstead's book, she jumps from like current time to like the past, and so you get like the full picture slowly building over time, and it is so incredible. My jaw was unhinged the entire time I was reading. I'd listened to the audiobook, but I was hooked. Devoured in one day. I'm gonna be thinking about that book for a very long time. And finally, my December pick was Forged by Malice. Again, if you read the Beast of the Briar series, Bonded by Thorns, clearly there's a theme happening here. I love these books so much, and it doesn't even matter what else I read that month. They're obviously going to win. I don't know if I can even pick my favorite book of the year. I'd probably say Fourth Wing because it had a chokehold on me the entire year. I don't know if it's my favorite now, like at this moment in time, as much as it was when it came out and like the months following. I have not read Iron Flame yet, so that's a whole other thing. I am going to be doing one of my vlogging, my reading vlog, if you will, for Iron Flame. I already started it because I technically started it on release day, and then I never finished because I got distracted by other things and I wasn't in the mood. I'm a chaotic mood reader, and I was not in the mood for that one. I almost forgot. in 2023, I read 204 books. I can't believe it. I almost forgot to share how many books I read in 2023. I read 204 books, which is crazy. In 2022, I read 240, and that was unheard of. I don't know if I'll ever be able to top that. But I read 204 books last year, and I went to over 30 book events. I met so many amazing authors. I made so many book friends. I don't even know how to describe how grateful I am for this year. I got to moderate panels. Me, someone who does not do public speaking well. I'm usually the person who fumbles and is mortified. Basically, I learned I can do hard things, and I'm very proud of myself. I also graduated with my master's degree. There were ups, there were downs, but overall I'm just extremely grateful. People in my life, particularly my book friends, they really came through for me this year, and I really don't ever think I can explain how much it means to me, and I'm very excited for what 2024 is going to bring. I also went to see Taylor Swift. I also saw Taylor Swift at the Eras Tour in Seattle. So I'm just saying, like, my life is complete now. Only thing that could top that is if I met her, which I doubt that's ever gonna happen. But we're manifesting it. We're manifesting it. I should do a vision board. Photoshop myself with Taylor Swift. But yes, thank you to all my book friends who have become my real friends. And thank you to everybody who's cared about me and become important in my life this year. I'm forever grateful. That's where we're at. I hope you will stick with me, and I hope that you are as excited as I am for this adventure in this new year. And I hope you let me know what kind of content you want to see, whether that's reviews, vlogging, book events, interviews with authors. That's another thing I want to do this year. Just let me know. What kind of things are you interested in? Do you want to see more Ronald? Do you want to hear more Ronald? Do you want me to show you how I do my flat lays for Instagram? Do you want behind the scenes of the silly reels I make? Just let me know. On that note though, I for some reason am completely obsessed with Epic the Musical. I've been obsessed, but like my obsession has been renewed because the Ocean Saga just came out. And I can't stop listening to it. I am convinced that I can do a one-woman show of all of the characters and all of the songs for all of the sagas. So that may be a thing that I do. We'll see how that goes. I have no idea how I'm going to put that together because I'm not that great at editing. So, we'll see. Brace for a storm, storm. Anyway. How much longer till your luck runs out? How much longer till the something, something, something. I'm not great with the words. Never claimed to be. But I got heart. I got soul. I got passion. Anyway. Do all the fun things, like, subscribe, put on the notifications so you know when I post, which hopefully is more consistent this year. And as always, leave me a comment, tell me what you want to see, or what you've enjoyed seeing in the past. And yeah, until next time, bye!